James Christopher Gaffigan, born July 7, 1966, is an American stand-up comedian, actor, writer, and producer. He was raised in Chesterton, Indiana. His material is often about fatherhood, observations, laziness, and food. He is also regarded as a clean comic, using little profanity in his routines. He has had several successful comedy specials, including Mr. Universe, Obsessed, Cinco, and Quality Time, all of which have received Grammy nominations. Just a reminder of how you can enter our new giveaway, in which you can win a new iPhone 12 Pro or a new MacBook Pro. Just leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and watch the whole video till the end. Hello and welcome to another episode of Celeby. Today we are going to talk about Jim Gaffigan, a renowned stand-up comedian and actor. Here are 15 things about Jim Gaffigan that he doesn't want you to know. So let's begin. 15. Jim is addicted to nicotine gum. I had Yellow Fingers cigarettes before I go on stage even recently. I smoked one to Propel cigarettes last weekend. It gives you a crazy head rush before you go on stage. I like it. I want to smoke cigarettes. It's a terrible thing to smoke cigarettes, but there's a weird rush that you get from the nicotine. It was like a head rush. It makes you feel good. And yeah, it really fires you up. You feel it the first couple times, and then you're chasing it for the rest of your life. 14. Net worth. We all enjoy when a stand-up comic makes us laugh and he throws every punch from his pocket to make our evenings. But for a second, stop laughing and think how much they earn for making us laugh. Well, just to answer your guesses, Jim Gaffigan's net worth is $16.64 million. Jim Gaffigan's income/salary per year, $2.77 million. Per month, $231,111.11. Per week, $53,333.33. Per day, $7,598.17. Per hour, $316.59. Per minute, $5.28. Per second, 9 cents. Well, while you were watching this, he earned a few dollars more. 13. His wife encouraged him to work her cancer into his stand-up act. The comedian told People this month, "The doctor said, this is very concerning and I saw fear in his face," Jim recalls. "That was the day I was most frightened. It was definitely a period where I was like, alright, I'm probably going to be a mediocre single father of 5. Eventually, the Gaffigans were told that Jeannie's tumor was operable. Jeannie is her husband's creative partner as well as his life partner. So when she had to start going for MRIs and other tests, she encouraged her husband to work some of that material into his stand-up act." He told AV Club more about that. It is kind of what we do. Whether it's working on the show or my stand-up or writing our book, it's our defense mechanism. It's therapeutic, but it's also weird, because I immediately came up with some tumor jokes and was running them by her. There are certain things where I think a lot of people would be like, that's way too soon, but look, Jeannie went in for this 2-hour MRI, and she came out and the first thing she said was, "Write down these ideas." So I suppose it's therapeutic in a way. 12. Comedian Jim Gaffigan rakes in $30 million by ditching Netflix and betting on himself. He has raked in $30 million this year, putting him at number 3 on Forbes' list of the highest-earning stand-up comedians. Half of that was earned by putting butts in seats. The rest comes from spreading his punchlines far and wide. And in this business, if those jokes are funny enough and your reach wide enough, you can fill a lot of seats with a lot of butts. With the right distribution deal, those jokes can deliver exponential returns, but that's where it gets a bit tricky. In the entertainment industry, every house is made of ice and it's melting, Gaffigan says, so you'd better be building a new house. I was approached by Comedy Dynamics, proposing that the special would be available everywhere people rent or buy. You didn't just have to have Netflix, and I thought this was appealing, that it'd be available to everyone at the same time. 11. Family-friendly comedian Jim Gaffigan shocks Twitter with rant against Donald Trump. In a series of Twitter posts, Gaffigan unloaded a batch of criticisms including, "You know Trump just creates enemies. You know you can't trust him. You know he's been incompetent during this crisis. You know all those people didn't need to die. Trump talks about the space program and you can't go safely to a movie. Wake up." Gaffigan also dropped plenty of expletives, which is not something he's known for. I don't give a bleep if anyone thinks this is virtue signaling or whatever. We need to wake up. We need to call Trump the conman and thief that he is. In a direct appeal to Trump supporters, Gaffigan wrote, "Look, Trumpers, I get it. As a kid, I was a Cubs fan, and I know you stick by your team no matter what, but he's a traitor and a conman who doesn't care about you. Deep down, you know it. I'm sure you enjoy pissing people off, but you know Trump is a liar and a criminal." 10. He wanted to be a farmer. I enjoy growing things. I mean, I live in Manhattan, and we have like tomato plants, but there's something very rewarding about it. Like, I get it. I think I'm kind of drawn to that strange isolation. I could enjoy sitting on a tractor for 5 hours and then just going in and eating, not even talking to my wife, and then going back out there. 9. He's the youngest of 6 kids. It essentially prepared me to be taken care of by other people, meaning my wife. I did grow up with a certain amount of chaos, but a lot of it has been blacked out. I think there is a familiarity for chaos, but I don't like people. I don't like being around people, but I like my children. It's not even narcissism. There's a lot of times when I'm like, what are they doing here? Oh, they're my kids. 8. Yes, you did spot him on Law & Order. I was in every version of Law & Order. I was in Law & Order Regular, Law & Order Spicy, Law & Order Special Victims Unit. I was in regular Law & Order twice, Special Victims Unit twice, Criminal Intent twice, and was in Law & Order Criminal Thing. I was in one of those. I think for New York actors, that was a rite of passage. It was huge. You were like, I got my one line. Excuse me, detective. 7. He played that Greek guy. In my first Law & Order, I played a Greek guy. My character's name was like Ekonopoulos or something. So I played a Greek plumber and I was, of course, the detectives are talking to me and I'm like, yeah, I never saw that guy before. Oh, that guy. So it was pretty fun. 6. He majored in finance. The Indiana native said he was always interested in performing, but growing up in a small town, it wasn't something that was encouraged. There were generations of my family that had never gone to college. My father was the first one to go to college and get us into middle class or upper middle class, Gaffigan said. It wasn't one of those things where we were advised to throw it all away to go into show business. It wasn't discouraged, but was just seen as impractical. So Gaffigan took the practical route and earned a degree in finance. Then reality set in while he worked as a financial litigation consultant in Florida for a couple of years. When I studied finance in school, I kept thinking, once I'm paid for this, I'll enjoy it. I didn't. I thought I was going to hang myself, he said. I eventually got a job in advertising in New York and became a copywriter. Along the way, I had gotten into improv just because I wanted to do it. Then somebody dared me to do stand-up. 5. Comedian Jim Gaffigan once walked on to a Big Ten football team. I have so many fond memories from Purdue, Gaffigan said. Most seem to involve walking. I walked onto the football team and walked away after I didn't like getting my head bashed in. I remember walking to some classes that were, for some reason, at 7 a.m., walking to Hardee's at 11:30 at night, finally buying a bike, and then walking after it fell apart after 2 days. Go Boilers! 4. He's more Larry Johnson than Larry Johnson. Two of the characters I played on Law & Order were named Larry Johnson, and the character I played in Super Troopers was named Larry Johnson. And I'm a former running back for the Kansas City Chiefs, so there's a lot of Larry Johnson. What we know about Larry Johnson is that he is a very good-looking guy, wears glasses, shouldn't wear shorts. 3. He just moved. We had 5 kids in a 2-bedroom apartment, and we moved to a studio. Now we live in a bigger place, but it's not big enough. If we could be in Madison Square Garden, we'd still be. We need a little more room. 2. He's not just that into you, Hot Pockets. Here's the irony, I don't think I've had a Hot Pocket in like 20 years. Maybe not 20, but I've probably eaten 3 Hot Pockets in my whole life. The idea for that joke was really the commercials. 1. His life partner equals writing partner. Jean-Louise Gaffigan is an American actress, producer, and comedy writer. She is best known as a writer and executive producer for The Jim Gaffigan Show, a show loosely based on her own family life with her husband, Jim Gaffigan. This show is really ultimately the creative darling of my wife and I, and so to be able to execute that is a great opportunity. We're doing it at TV Land, and I don't think we would have been able to do a show as good as it is on any other network. We were given a certain amount of autonomy, and now I can't imagine going back to any other way. Gaffigan started dating Jim Gaffigan in 2000, after they had met in New York. They were married at St. Patrick's Old Cathedral in New York on July 26, 2003. Together, they have 2 daughters and 3 sons. The couple chose home births for all 5 children. The family lives in Manhattan. Gaffigan is Catholic, and Jim has jokingly referred to her as a Shiite Catholic relative to him. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, do hit the like button and subscribe to our channel.